farmers often don't realise how much help there is out there in terms of getting their business to run efficiently. They haven't been exposed to this kind of thinking before, but time is money, and the business industry has spent a lot of time and research developing tools and models that are really, really useful to make your business more effective. One of the ones that I particularly like to use and would find myself speaking about at most events would be the Task Prioritisation Quadrants, which look at how urgent and how important a task is. The critical quadrant in this matrix is the not urgent but important quadrant. This is the quadrant that is looking at the long game, so what it is you're trying to achieve from your business, from life, where you see yourself in 5 years' time. Why do you get up why do you get out of bed today? It's so that you can contribute to what you're trying to achieve in a year's time or in 5 years' time, and that creates motivation and commitment. In order to make sure that your not urgent important ambitions or aspirations are achieved, you've got to very effectively run your business on a day-to-day basis. Basis. You're looking at whether something is urgent, or whether you're looking at how urgent it is and how important it is. If it's happening here and now, it needs to be done, we would say that's urgent and important. However, if you spend too long always working on urgent and important, we would say you're fighting fires, and that's not sustainable from a stress management point of view. Ideally, you want to prioritise that quadrant so that you're doing things that are actually important and not the things that you believe are more important. It could be that you're avoiding work that you don't like doing, but that needs to be done. So it's really about being disciplined about getting the right thing done at the right time. The next quadrant would be not urgent, would be urgent but not important. So these are the things that are happening now that's creating the urgency, but they're not necessarily important. Only you can define that. It might be the phone ringing, so it's urgent because it's there ringing in front of you, but depending on who is actually calling you, that would dictate whether it's important or not. It's having the discipline that if it's not important, maybe not to answer it at all, maybe to answer it and say I'll speak to you later, or if it is urgent, to answer it there and then, and that call gets switched up into the prioritisation of urgent and important. Critically, you don't want to find yourself spending any time in the not urgent, not important quadrant. That's the kind of thing like gossiping, speaking to a sales rep that you're never going to buy anything from, if you don't actually need to speak to them from a company point of view, as in having a chat with somebody because you haven't seen anybody for a few days, and not being distracted by things that you like doing but don't need to be done. So we shouldn't find ourselves spending too long always operating in the urgent and important. That's the fighting fires scenario. We shouldn't find ourselves confusing urgency for importance. Just because it's urgent doesn't mean it's important. And we really should never find ourselves in a not urgent, not important quadrant. Overall, the kind of things that you want to do is to empty all of the other quadrants to guarantee that your not urgent but important quadrant is going to be achieved. We typically find that people in business who have a 5-year plan, if they operate this scenario effectively, they complete that in 3 years or less because of that efficiency of mindset and productivity.